Ho, Tudor-minded people. It's Philadelphia Carrie for Tudor Time Machine. Today I speak to you of miserable maladies of the body, the smallpox. Tudor files. This pox is called small, and yet should the corrupt air bring this disease, you will not think it small. Not only may it send you to heaven or to hell, it can scar the skin and ruin one's beauty. Oh, oh, oh! I did see the once comely Mary Sidney, born Mary Dudley, and sister to our Queen Elizabeth's confidant, Robert Dudley, as she prepared to accompany her husband to Ireland. Ah, she is not the jewel she once was, for she had nursed our Queen and did contract the disease herself. Our good Queen Bess, at a mere 29 years old, did believe herself to have a cold. Achoo! But it was not a cold at all. It was the pox. 'Twas my own father who recommended the doctor, Burchard Cranich. We called him Dr. Burcott. And he did tell her she had the pox, but she would have none of it. She did not have the marks upon her skin, and she did dismiss him. Mary Sidney did attend her well, I cannot lie, but Elizabeth our Queen did slip in and out of a senseless state, and my father did convince Dr. Burcott he must treat the Queen despite all, and it is well rumoured that the doctor did refuse, and my father did persuade him at the point of a dagger. That did convince the good doctor. Dr. Burcott did give the Queen a potion, and wrap her in a red cloth by the fire. 'Twas well done. She did awake, and complained bitterly, but his fine treatment did cause her skin to erupt, and the pustules to weep, and then she did heal. And keen to her duty, Mary Sidney did carry on serving our Queen. But Mary herself became ill, and her face was left not as it once was. After her bout of smallpox, her husband did write of her, I left her a full fair lady, in mine eyes at least the fairest, and when I returned, I found her as foul a lady as the smallpox can make her. The man was cruel, but 'tis the long and the short of it.
Miserable maladies of the Tudors. How now, Tudor Files? What think you? If you're new here, I'm Gage.
I'm Jessica.
And we're here with Philadelphia Carrie and her story of Elizabeth I's smallpox.
'Twas a terrible time, for 'twould have been the end of the Tudor line, and we knew not who would succeed our Queen. Oh, Tudor Files, listen to Tudor Time Machine's story project, for it is a history of the Elizabethan court that reveals more about my Elizabeth than I think is right for peasants such as yourselves to know. But you must listen, for indeed it is shocking. Subscribe on YouTube, Podbean, or Spotify while you are gadding about, and give me a like.
Tudor Files are an amazing bunch. You have the wit of Beatrice and the kindness of Cordelia. Thank you for joining us. We are talking about smallpox, which was declared eradicated in 1980, and the last known case was in 1977.
So it was a global effort to end this disease, which had just ravaged people, and the vaccine was incredibly effective, but the Tudors were not so lucky. Smallpox killed 1 in 3 people in Tudor England. If you got smallpox, you had a 30% chance of dying. And Philadelphia is right. We call it small, but it was a big deal. Yet it cannot be confused with the great pox, for that was a far different disease.
Yes, it was. The Great Pox, it was called, and that was syphilis. This was also very common and deadly at the time.
But my Queen had no such thing as the great pox, and indeed she did try to fight the smallpox off.
How'd she do that?
Why, she did take a bath, and then she did have a bracing walk about the palace.
I guess that didn't work.
I think it's fair that she did that. I do that kind of thing when I don't feel well. When I do not feel well, I do rest upon my bed. But I tell you, my father did save our Queen.
Did he? I thought it wasn't known for sure whether or not that doctor was actually there.
And if the doctor wrapped her in red cloth, that wouldn't do anything to fight off the disease. But I have read that the potion the queen drank may have had willow in it, and willow has a chemical in it that reduces inflammation and pain, so that might have helped. The queen lived. The treatment was a success. You pod ladies are fools to doubt it. Do you believe she healed herself?
It does happen. Sometimes people just recover.
My father saved her, and she was not made monstrous in the way of Mary Sidney. There is a story that Mary Sidney never wanted to leave the house after she was disfigured, but that's not accurate. She continued to serve the queen, and she traveled with her husband, and hopefully he was not so unsympathetic about her scarring.
I know. She lived, and I hope she enjoyed her life. Mary Sidney and the Queen both had smallpox around 1562. And Mary Sidney stayed and served the Queen until 1575, and she lived until 1586. So she had those scars a long time.
She did indeed, and I certainly did not want to look on her and her craterous skin. Give heed, Tudorphiles. Enjoy good health. Listen in next time. Don't miss a malady. Subscribe on YouTube and give me a like.